Start recording. Yay! Okay. And we are live. Fake laugh in one, two. I'm joking. Don't do it. Okay. So, which books do you have, good sir?
Or Numenera, one and two.
Just Numenera Discovery Destiny?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't have any of the other like 20 or 30 books that I have to worry about then?
Yeah, no, I have the base books. I have the base books for Numenera and the base books for Cipher. And that's it.
That's fine. So your first thing is to pick a focus. It works a little backwards, and it works best for character creation if you pick your focus first. It will all become abundantly clear.
Okay, so let me find.
And you can pick one from Discovery or Destiny. The only thing I would suggest is you not pick an Arcus or a Right, as these one-shots do not tend to lend themselves towards um, the Arcus or Right classes. As
Okay.
delves will do fine because they're more focused on discovery and exploration, and their skill sets will actively help you explore. Glaives are good for fighting. Jacks are a weird hodgepodge of in between. You can make them might based, you can make them speed based, you can make them intellect based. It all
Mhm.
depends on your focus, your descriptor. That's why they're called jacks. They're a jack of all trades, master of
Okay.
none. Nanos are your bread and butter wizard, if you want. They're called nanos because I don't know how much of the lore you've read into the book, but the Numenera is a world built on 9 prior civilizations. You're like, I think, a billion years in the future, something like that. Um, and there are nanomachines infesting the earth, the ground, um, the water, the air you breathe, and they're called nanos because they have developed a way to jack into the nanomachines and cause them to create effects that they desire.
Okay.
So, what I usually like to ask players is, "What's your play style? Like, what are you an old D&D or like what?"
Yes, I am. I
Okay,
am 3.5 and on. Actually, no,
okay,
second edition on technically.
perfect. You are my problem children. Um,
Oh, damn. Sorry.
no, it's fine. And it's not a problem with you as a player. It's the problem with the system that you played, and this system is basically 180 degrees from what you're used to. Okay, you are not rewarded for killing stuff. You are rewarded for exploration, discovery, advancement in ways other than non, violent liberation. Um, so keep that in mind. One of the other hard things to grasp is that there is no set skill list, and skills are very powerful, very useful. Um, Also, are you familiar with how the difficulty classes in this system work?
I've watched season one of Callisto 6, so that's what got me into the system. So I'm vaguely aware of most of the rules in
Okay.
that sense, but
Okay, so you're aware of edge and effort and how all
yeah.
that works, and that it's a difficulty. This is a base 3 system, and it's
Hmm.
from 1 to 10, 3 to 30 target numbers. Okay, good. So yeah, there are the only exception to um, skills don't have specific rules are the jumping skill checks, and
Okay.
it's just a foible of the system.
Hmm.
Jumping is handled. You can look on Discovery for jump distance. I don't think that will come into play in this scenario. It shouldn't. But just in case it does,
See, specifically now I want to make a character that just jumps absurd distances just to
they
be a shit,
they
but I don't.
have. Actually, no. There's actually a nano can do that at will. There's a power um,
Oh god.
that you can take called far step, and you can leap up to a long distance, which is 100 feet, and land safely as long as you can perceive it.
So they teleport, basically.
Actually, it's very thematic. It's up to you how that happens.
Okay.
I mean, you could have shadowy wings explode from your back and carry you aloft. You could have jet rocket powered boots that you activate. You could have springs in your legs that allow you to do it. You could control gravity. I mean, the system is super thematic. It leaves those little fine details. It gives you an effect and says it's up to you how that happens.
Okay.
And I do take that into account. Even though it's thematic, sometimes it can have an in-game effect.
Okay.
So look at Discovery. Discovery has some of the more basic foci, and then Destiny has the advanced focuses. There's a lot more in Destiny, but they're different than Discovery.
So that's chapter 6, the character focuses.
Yes.
Okay. I have the PDFs with like the bookmarks on them, so I'm
Yep.
just like trying to find which bookmark is the right one.
Oh, you're fine. This might take you a while since you're new. I mean, I can whip up a character in like 15 minutes, but since this is your first character, it might take you an hour, maybe an hour and a half, just so you can
Okay.
get the understanding of it once you pick your focus. Oh, I need to change your character sheet around. Hang on one second.
Okay. So let's see the list here. Lives in the.
And usually, what you see is what you get. Um, and I run this as a league style play.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is if you like your character, you can keep your character. I'll put them in the character folio.
Okay.
And anytime I run a one shot, you can hop back in and say, "Hey, GM, I want to, or hey, Mail, I want to go ahead and play my old character." And every time you complete a session, you get one advancement. So you complete four
Okay.
sessions, you get to tier two.
Okay.
Let's go to Lancer Dragon's character sheet, Numenera. I like the simple fonts, assets. There we go. Now you're set up.
I'm literally like quick scrolling through these because it's got. Luckily, from the copy I got of the Numenera
Mhm.
books, the that first page is list of folks guys. I can just literally click each one and it'll pop me right to that page.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Is
like
there
skip pop, skip pop.
I have a really bad habit of going and ahs, so I'm trying to cut down on that, and it's very difficult. I'm starting to suddenly realize how good YouTubers are for not going every like 3 seconds.
So actually, weird story here.
Hmm.
I am part of an audio podcasting group, and I'm the guy who actually edits the audio.
Hmm.
You'd be surprised how much these like pseudo well-known podcasters or YouTubers say they just cut it out or retake stuff.
Wow.
Like there's been times we've run episodes. So the podcast I work for is like a medical podcast,
Hmm.
and it's like discussing like boards questions for studying for medical students because that's what I am. And the number of times people are just like, this. You can just literally, we just like cut that like 6 seconds out in like
Wow.
GarageBand or whatever. So it's
I'm not
perfectly common.
nearly that bad, but I do staccato ums. I'm like like because I
Yeah.
was listening. I recorded my first session, and I really start to do it when I don't have a script or I'm trying to be descriptive and I'm lacking the darn words to run through it. So anyway,
There's like 4 of these that sound cool. That's the problem.
which four are you looking at, and what's your play style?
So, playstyle wise, from my D&D days, I tend to either play the cleric or the big stupid fighter.
Okay, so if you want to play a cleric, there are a couple options. There's in Cipher, and we can use Cipher too. I can transfer Cipher over no problem. There's channels, divine blessings, and then there's oh goodness, hold on. I have to go to my other Numenera campaign. It's something golden touch or hang on one second. I'll tell you here quickly. Where are you? There you are. She is works miracles.
Okay.
No, big dumb fighter is easy to do. I mean,
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, pick a thing. Fighter does it.
I mean,
Those are I tend to play those two because I used to DM a lot, and a lot of the players were like, "I want to play the rogue. I want to play the wizard." No one wanted to be the tank. No one wanted to be the healer because those were the dumb roles. So I would like DM NPC a lot of fighters and a lot of clerics. So I really learned their spell list and ability lists back in the day.
uh, channel works miracles is nice. Basically, it gives you a an at will ability that slowly increases in intellect difficulty. So let's say you have a character uh, and you use your Works Miracles Tier 1 focus on them. It's a difficulty 2 intellect check. And then they heal 1d6 points of damage to one stat pool. Then it's a difficulty 3, then a 4, then a 5, then a 6, then a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you fail, you can continue to do it no matter what. Succeed or fail, it goes up by one step.
Okay.
And then once you hit a point where you're just like, I can't do it no more, a full 10-hour rest will reset that clock. But you can do that to each individual person. Channels Divine Blessings gives you a lot more utility. You can increase people's damage, you can create an aura of safety, you can create like darkness, you can have like an onslaught attack. Uh, it gives you like 7 or 8 different things that you can pick from, and we can
Okay.
also modify those abilities if you don't like the cost or you don't like the effect.
Okay. So let me see here.
That's in
You said it's
Cipher. That's in Cipher
okay.
Core.
Channels Divine Blessing. So let me open that
hmm
book real quick.
I usually end up modifying the attack or the protection one.
Mm-hmm.
So the attack one is nice, but it's one intellect cost, and you target someone for their next action. Now you can bump up the cost by 1 point to either increase the duration or increase the
Mm-hmm.
radius, or you can bump it up to like a 3 cost so you have an active aura around you in like a 10-foot radius
Okay.
that affects everyone. Or like there's the protection field, which is like I said, that's the active aura one. But that's like I said, that's 3 intellect points. Maybe you don't want the aura. Maybe you just want someone's next defensive action to be better, so you can reduce it down to 1 and just say you have a protective blessing. Uh, things of that nature. You know, you can you
Okay.
we can modify how you want. I'm a huge fan of Channel's Divine Blessings because it gives you so much
Some
so much
yeah,
potential.
looks like it. Yeah, I'm looking at them now and I'm like, okay, yeah, all these are cool. Uh,
that's
yeah,
that's
so
why
let's.
that's why I ask, what's your play style? I have most of the foci memorized, at least the major ones are the really cool ones, and this is a top tier one. Channel's Divine Blessings is a really cool one.
Okay. So yeah, let's do channel divine blessings. That like I'm looking at all these different tier one like divine knowledge abilities, and I'm like, these are cool. That's cool.
All right, so you have to pick 2 of those. That's the drawback.
Yeah.
So let me open up my book and go to Numenera. Come on. And we're going to Cipher rules.
Ooh, lockdown abilities. Lockdown abilities are always fun.
Which one is that one?
Authority slash law slash peace. You prevent one foe that can hear and understand you from attacking anyone or anything for 1 round.
Oh, yes. Now, the next.
Lockdown cleric builds. Lockdown clerics.
Now, I'm going to warn you Numenera is not your average sci fi game, okay? It is very weird, very strange, and most of the tropes that you know through for sci-fi will not apply. Things are going to mess with your brain,
Okay.
both on your character and for you as a player. I run it as strange as possible.
Okay.
So we're gonna go for divine. Yes, take me to that. Erg. I've got the old style PDF that doesn't.
Yeah.
Come on.
The new style PDFs are great. It's
That should tell you
page
how.
106.
I got it on -109.
Oh,
Yeah,
oof.
yeah, it's the old PDFs. That should tell you how long I've had these. Okay.
Yeah.
You have a now for you. This might not be divine power. This
Hmm.
might be uh, maybe some type of extraterrestrial power. Maybe you call upon some type of weird satellite. Maybe you have like a Tony Stark generator that you can call upon. You have to think sci-fi because in Numenera, gods don't really exist.
Okay.
There are beings that are powerful as gods, but the whole ideology theology thing doesn't
Hmm.
really exist.
Okay.
The closest thing you can come to a god is something called the datasphere, which is basically the World Wide Web.
I was about to say, like, if there are no gods, is technology God? Because
Actually, yes, and there is basically that is what is going on.
okay,
Technology is your savior and your downfall.
okay,
So you have an additional piece of equipment that's a symbol of your faith or where you derive your power, and that's going to be up to you how that happens. Maybe you have some weird way of tapping into the data sphere and
okay,
channeling whatever power it has,
okay,
and then you have divine knowledge. In Numenera, I reskin this as uh, uh, creatures. You have knowledge of creatures that are not of this plane of existence.
okay,
So if it's extraterrestrial, ultra-terrestrial, interdimensional, ultraplanar, like all that weird crap, you
hmm,
know about it.
okay.
So you can just
So,
label it as planar knowledge.
okay, planar knowledge. Uh,
And what I'd
oh,
like to
one
do, I'm
sec.
going to copy and paste your minor and major effects into your background.
Okay. So if I went with the two blessings, let's see here. Knowledge slash wisdom sounds like it would be good given the situation.
Let me see. Knowledge, wisdom. I gotta find it here some second. Knowledge, wisdom. Choose up to three creatures for. Oh yeah. The difficulty of a particular type of task, but not an attack or defense roll, is reduced by one step for those creatures. Yeah, that is an amazing skill. That
Yeah.
power, I've never seen anyone take it, but the ability to just say you have a modicum of knowledge on this,
Hmm.
especially if someone has an inability, this bypasses it. You're trained.
Yeah.
It completely bypasses someone's inability if they have an inability in, say, persuasion or salvaging or crafting or perception or maybe even heck even initiative. I don't know. Um,
Okay, so it sounds like knowledge plus robot god fits very well. So we're gonna go with knowledge for at least one of them.
okay.
And then let's see
Now, do
here.
you want to modify that at all? Because if you want, you could reduce the intellect cost, and it would reduce. You could take away the area of effect. You could so you could knock it down to 2 points, and instead of
Hmm.
affecting everyone, maybe you could affect one person for 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So instead of three people, it'd be one person.
Yeah, it'd just be one person. It takes you an action,
Okay.
and you're like, okay, you're good at this.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Okay.
So that'll make it a two intellect cost.
hmm
Oh, all these have like three intellect costs and two intellect costs.
That's why I allow you to modify them because a lot of them are at tier one incredibly painful to use,
Hmm.
and most of my players are only here for one shots.
Yeah.
But there are numerous people that really get into because I've got the original 10 Weird Adventures. I've got all the core books, and right now I'm going through and doing the Explorer's Keys, which is the new weird 10 one shots that Monty Cook released.
Okay.
So every week I run a new one shot. So
Wow.
I've got 20 or so one shots at least. Plus I'm running Slaves of the Machine God, and I can sub in any of the Slaves of the Machine God episodes as a one shot.
Okay. So let's see. Knowledge and technically health would probably be a good idea, but that's also another 3 intellect cost. So let's instead go with something that's not a 3 intellect cost.
Health. Which one's that one? With the
That's
touch?
the desire, love, health. With a touch, you restore 1d6 points of stat points to any one creature, including yourself. This is a difficulty. This is the one you were telling me about that heals people.
Yeah, that's one that's Works Miracles. Works Miracles has that one, and it's a lot less expensive.
Yeah.
It's just a straight up and 2 intellect cost. There's not
Yeah,
much
this
you
one's
there's not much you can do to modify this one. Um,
unfortunately, yeah. So
I mean, I would say maybe instead of saying recovery roll, you drop it down to um, well, no, because in that case it would be more like protection, where basically you drop it down and maybe 1 or 2 point uh, cost,
Mhm.
and the next targeted creature has like a bonus action on um, desire, love, health. Maybe they have a bonus on an asset, on pleasant social interactions, might defense rolls, or like endurance checks, or lifting things or something like that.
okay.
You could do that. I mean, it is a very, but you don't have to worry about being the healer most of the times in these situations.
Okay, so that's my my brain is going. Must find a way to make sure no one dies. Must find my way to make
You
sure no.
don't have to worry about that in this system. That's one of the things that this system completely breaks away from. Did you remember how? Do you remember playing Fourth Edition D&D?
Yes,
Okay,
not for very long, but
yeah,
yes.
yeah, okay. Remember how they did the rest recovery,
Yeah.
where each player gets like a rest recovery roll.
Hmm.
That's how this system handles it. You have a 1 action, a 10 minute, a 1 hour, and a 10 hour recovery roll equal to 1d6 plus your tier.
So then people will be fine. They can deal with that on their
they're
own.
they're gonna have 4d6 plus 4 hit points to move around as they wish.
Okay, then let's go with something else.
Armor and protection are actually um, highly sought after commodities in the system. If you
Hmm.
have 5 armor, you're basically dang near nigh invulnerable to almost everything in the system.
Well, as a worshiper of the robot god, I feel like I would probably be very armored up. Just tech pieces everywhere.
Well, there is a descriptor called AI.
That could work. Let's.
You have no bonuses in the downside to the AI is you have no bonuses in pleasant social, and when you make recovery checks, they're only for intellect. You actually have to repair yourself.
If I wanted to do might and other stuff,
Hmm.
das oof.
Yeah. And depending on the type of AI you want to be, you can be either completely cut off from telepathic or psychic contact, or be susceptible to it.
Okay.
There's a gradient there. I've had multiple people say, "Well, I don't want to be completely shut off, but I don't want it to be as effective either." So they get like I'll give them an asset to any um, intellect attacks, because they're not completely you know able to receive most of the message. Um, or
Okay.
one character I had, he's like, no, I'm a full on synthetic creature. I can't hear it. I don't understand it, and it's a dimension of thought and language he cannot even perceive.
Okay. Hmm.
So he can't affect it, but he also can't hear it, which has led to some.
When the party's all like, let's talk telepathically, so the bad guy can't hear us. And he's just like, what did you say?
um,
Yep.
Actually, it led to them accidentally dismembering a intelligent fungus.
What?
Yeah. Um, uh, one of the guys was like, "No, stop, stop!" And I made the "Oh no, please don't hurt me! Oh, it hurts! Oh no!"
And
little.
he just didn't hear any of it.
No, I didn't hear any of it. And it's like, "Oh, you're ripping me! No, it's bleeding! Ah!" And he was just like, "Rip, shred, rip," because he's ripping it apart for organic parts. And one of the other players was just like, "No, stop, stop! You're hurting it!" And Hal is like, "Oh, it's doing the thing that messes with your head." He's like, "Yeah, stop!" So he goes over to the character, pops open a Pez dispenser. He's like, "Here, eat this." He's like, "Oh, crunch, 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 crunch." Oh, the voices stopped. He had a cipher that basically made the player uh, invulnerable to telepathic communication.
Well, that works. Kind of irrelevant for the robot to have that, but. Um, so, what is it for? So, there's one that's trickery, greed, and commerce. You are trained in detecting the deceptions of other creatures, and it just says enabler, and
Hold
it
on.
has no intellect cost.
Trickery, greed, commerce. You are trained in detecting the deceptions of other creatures. Enabler. So that means it is a skill, and enabler means it is always on. It's a passive. It's a passive power.
Okay. So, I'd say that one potentially could work too, because if I'm connected to the World Wide Web, I would be very good at detecting lies, because I can just check the information versus the truth.
Well, here's the thing. The datasphere is not something you can connect to.
Okay.
It is only accessible in a very specific spots. Either a cipher will grant it to you, an artifact, maybe a specific machine, but it's not like you can just walk around.
Connected
Imagine,
to it.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like you're not connected to
It's
it.
not your smartphone. You
Yeah,
don't have a
no,
smartphone.
no,
Okay.
it's the data sphere is there, but imagine like almost every single uh, connection point to the data sphere has been removed. So only specific interactions will grant you that power.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's
So
not
that's
impossible,
true.
but just as a tier 1 character, you're not going to have that.
Okay. So let's go with then sun, fire, light, so that I have a damage ability.
Well, here's the thing. You can get a damage ability. Where's Sunfire Light? Oh, okay. Um, you can get a damaging ability from your type. Your focus is
Oh.
just your flavor. Like you're actually getting a lot of stuff from your focus here because you're getting 2 additional powers.
Okay. So then let's not do that because I didn't realize. I thought this was
No,
the
no, no, no,
list of
no, no,
character abilities you got.
no, no. You're starting off strong. Trust me. Um, so yes, this is additional powers that you're going to get.
Okay.
Hey, malefactionist
Yes,
or
sir.
malefactionist. I think I'm finished with my character sheet. Do you want to look it over
Yes.
real quick?
Which and this is Mr. Thick.
Yes, character names and
Xandar. All right, Mr. Xandar. All right, you're a strong glaive who hunts. Initiative. You're specialized in initiative. You're specialized in climbing. Jump, break, uh, following and identifying tracks. Okay, inability, inability, inability. Combat prowess. What's your combat prowess?
combat prowess. Where is that?
Special abilities.
Oh wait, that's the one thing I forgot.
Yep, that's all right.
Which book would that be in? Discovery, Destiny, which
Discovery for glaive. That should be
Discovery?
plus. You get a +1 damage bonus on either the ranged or melee attacks.
Oh yeah, I got it. All right, I'll add the descriptor now.
Okay, trained in
So,
armor. Community defender. Okay, stacker. You gain asset to
there
all.
it is. Okay,
Where'd you?
boom.
Oh, I bet Hunts gave you stalker, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Hunts gave me
That's how
Stalker.
you got. That's how you got specialized. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, Muscles of Iron, perfect. Opportunist. Oh, you've got character options too. Awesome, good.
Mm-hmm.
That is an under appreciated book.
Yeah, I have pretty much everything. Like, let me just read them out to
Oh,
you.
you don't have to. Trust me. I've got everything except steps into the outside or steps into the night. I have into the deep, into the outside, and I had into the night, but I don't know where it went.
Into the Night, I think I have that. I have Into the Violet Veil.
Yeah, I've got all that
I'm
stuff too.
pretty sure I had Into the Night. Where did I put it? Huh. I can't find. I know that I have it. I just
So
don't know
you
where it
will
is.
need to put your attacks down, um, and you're a glaive. So let me deal you your two ciphers to. Whoa, not all players. No. Goodness gracious. To the thick man. There you go. You
Okay.
also get an asset card. I give everyone an
Also,
asset.
what did you say you want me to do with
Well, you're
my
gonna
attacks?
you need to write them down. Like, what are you using? Because you get
Oh, okay. How do I do? I am very new to Numenera. This is literally going to be my first Cipher System game, so
perfect.
I'm
That's
just
what
trying.
that's what this session is for. Um, so you see in the middle section where it says attacks.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, so what you need to do is write your attacks down and pick your weapons. Because as a glaive, you get two weapons. Um,
Are there like attacks already written in the rule books, or do I just make this?
no, no, you have to go to the equipment section because as a glaive, you have to pick your.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So go to the equipment section and you can use basically any weapon as long as
Yeah,
you
pretty
can.
much. So.
Like I said, it'll give you a. Hold on one second. I'm trying to multitask here. Oh shoot!
God, there's
I
so
gave
many
you
books for Numenera.
I gave you the wrong one. Give that back for me. I meant to give you an XP card.
Okay. God, there's so many books for Numenera.
There we go.
So many. Okay. Which one? Which book am I looking at right now? That's Discovery. That's Destiny. Is this the regular Numenera? No, this is character options too. That's new. Okay.
Discovery in the equipment section should have everything you'll need. I've
All right.
handed you on your Roll20 avatar. If you look down at the bottom of your page, you'll have
Let me do that.
you'll have two ciphers, and I accidentally gave you two asset cards. It should say "Let it go." If you could,
Oh, it says yes. Press let it go.
yeah, go ahead and let it go. I accidentally gave you one.
There we go.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem.
And then I give you.
Let
Everyone starts off with their number of ciphers, a free asset card, and one free XP because it's Roll20 and Roll20 is a fickle witch.
yeah. All right. So let's see here. Equipment. That is page 93.
And hold on one second. I'm going to. Oh, I don't have that. Hold on.
Page
Oh,
93.
they finally added the D100 in here. Yay! I'm a happy camper.
Oh, they have D100s now.
Yep.
I haven't used Roll20 in a
If
long time. So.
on the bar to the left, there's a D20 icon, um, and you can scroll over that, and then they've got D4s all the way to D100s.
Oh, would you look at that? They actually do.
Yep. You can
That's new.
you can use that, or you can use the macros on your character sheet. And the macros on your character sheet are super easy, super simple, and really fun to use. All right, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, let me
I
just
just
test
rolled
it
your.
out.
I just rolled your discovery.
Let me just roll initiative real quick. I'm just gonna give myself fucking a chaotic ass initiative. Fucking give me a difficulty. Let's see. And effort. We'll put no effort into it. And let's just pretend I don't have assets.
Rolled a nat one, didn't you?
Oh no, there's a 6
Oh yeah, 6.
against the difficulty 7.
All
I
right.
just wanted to see. All right. Let's see.
So here is
Equipment.
your. You also start with some bog standard equipment, um, Mr. Xandar. So,
Okay.
oops, that's your.
Heavy weapons. I would like a heavy weapon. That would be great.
There is your cipher.
Let me see. Silken string, 3 feet long. that coils around whatever. Oh, that is. You know, I keep forgetting there's different ciphers for the different, like,
Yeah.
fucking
hmm So here's the other thing. I want you to roll me a 4d6.
4d6. Okay, let me just go back to the world. So a 4. Oh, it only goes up to 5. Can I just roll it manually? How would I do that in the chat?
/ roll space 4d6. Well, you said it only goes up to 5, so there should be 4d6, right?
There's a d4, but then it goes up to 5. It doesn't go to 6. I can't roll.
No.
So it's
Scroll over the d6. You see the d6?
Oh,
And
yeah,
then you
okay.
go over to 4.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to roll d4s. I'm dumb. I thought you were talking about d4s. I didn't know you were talking about. No. Okay,
All
that
right.
was my bad.
All right.
That's an 11 right there.
Yeah, I'll add 11 extra shins to your starting character's uh, monetary slush fund.
Hold on, so what was my
Let me, while you're doing that,
first
let
shin?
me jump back to Mr. Dragon. Dragon, have you got what you needed
Yeah, of
down
course.
for your powers? Okay, so your next thing you want to do is start looking for a descriptor. There are
okay.
descriptors in both Discovery and Destiny. I highly suggest looking over all of those before you decide to pick. But you may come to one and be like, that's the one.
Okay.
It'll kind of hit you. This system tends to do that to you. You'll kind of come to it going, well, I don't know. Ooh, I like this, and then you're like, ooh, I like this, and because it's all super, I can't wait till the second edition of Cypher comes out.
hmm
Apparently, everything from foci to your uh, powers to everything is completely customizable.
So, quick question:
hmm
what exactly are shins?
Okay, so shins. Let me try and show you what a shin is. I'm gonna get my phone real quick.
Yeah.
Let me get my phone.
Is it supposed to be like the currency or something? Because I went to the equipment
hmm
and then in the equipment section, where did it say? It said, I let's just say that I wanted to get like a sword staff. It says price 5 shin.
Yep. Hold on one second. Oh, I've got exactly what shins look like. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
Oh, you actually.
Like actual metal ones.
Let me go to
Wasn't
Discovery.
expecting that.
I'm going to show you exactly what shins look like. Let me go, Mr. Dragon, picture.
So after this, I'm still gonna have 11 shin.
Nope, that's not what I wanted. There. I found this at an oddity shop, and it is by far the best representation of shins that I've ever seen.
Dude, God, there's so much shit for fucking Cypher. I love this system, but my God, there's a.
You get used to it.
Oh, I hope so.
You get used to it. Listen, as a player, you're it's a lot easier.
It's just a pile of junk.
Yes. So usually what happens is when you want to buy something, you'll literally take out a bag of your shins, and the person that's digging through it will rummage around and find what they think is useful.
Ah.
So it's like
Oh,
going
okay.
to the scrapyard, taking apart all the useless nuts, bolts, power sources, things like a spark plug, a circuit board, mm, little connectors, shiny bits of metal, and that's the currency of the world.
That's. Oh, okay, then I'm gonna keep that in mind. Let me just take down some notes. God, I keep forgetting. I haven't played a tabletop role playing game in so long. I keep forgetting I'm gonna have to start taking notes again.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Mr. Thick, this is being recorded because he's a new time player. So I
Oh, yeah,
want.
that's fine.
Okay, good. I just wanted to let you know so you weren't blindsided in the case I accidentally somehow hit the the 0.01% mark and become a YouTube star.
Be the next Critical Role.
Woo, yeah!
Dude, I'm still waiting for Callisto 6 Season 3 on YouTube.
This is how I got into the game. Actually, was
Yeah.
I literally like over Memorial Day weekend, or not Memorial Day weekend. What was that? The holiday weekend. Shoot, totally
So
blanking on it now.
I actually have a lot of players that do that, and honestly, I've been GMing for the Cypher system now. Well, in Cypher Unlimited now for almost 2 years. I have GM'd for a lot of people because I run this almost every week, and I routinely have 4 to 6 players every week.
Dude. I was supposed to have a game like 2 weeks ago, but like 4 of the players just like didn't show up, so we just kind of gave up on it.
The problem is you can't. It's hard to get players into an actual campaign.
Yeah, it sucks, but
That's
it is what it is.
it is what it is. So, you have any thoughts, ideas there, Mr. Dragon?
So I know that. So what I went with was knowledge and protection for my
Okay.
2 for the knowledge one. I'm leaning towards for the trait. Oh, which one is it here? There's one that says Mystic Mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading some of the abilities and they kind of fit, but kind of don't. But like reading like the descriptor of it, being like, oh, you're attuned to something. And I'm like, if someone's attuned to robotics and is trying to connect with the data sphere, it sounds like it would fit.
Yeah, mystical mechanical's a good one
Let me see.
because I think that even gives you Numenera training too.
It does.
That's just a huge, huge thing. Um, Numenera knowledge in this system is akin to perception in D&D.
Oh, then
No,
yes, that one.
in that case, I'm not very perceptive. My character is fucking dumb when it comes to this. He has an inability in salvaging, understanding, and crafting Numenera.
Yeah,
Well, good thing.
glaives get the short end of the stick.
Oh, dude, it's great. One
Okay.
thing. So I chose my weapon, which is a sword staff, right? So for my attacks, where would I go for attacks to see
Middle
where
of
my attacks?
middle of the column, it should say attacks, and you can hit the little plus button.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. Like, but where do I find the actual attacks in the book and stuff?
Actual attacks, like what do you mean?
I mean, is there actual attacks associated with the weapons, or is it just stuff that I make up?
You should have powers that you picked out, right?
Let me just double check real quick. Am I being dumb? I'm probably.
Because I think
Oh, okay. Hold on. I think I get you. I think I know.
if you don't have any actual attack powers, then you will just be using an air quotes auto attack.
Hold
Because
on. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
you took
Because I took muscles of iron and what else?
uh, the one that gives you an
An
asset
opportunity.
opportunist, right?
So I don't think I have any actual attacks.
Now I will say you're trained in initiative, aren't you?
Let me.
You're trained and specialized in initiative, right?
No, I'm not.
I
When
thought
it
you
comes to
were.
skills, I'm not. Did it? Did I accidentally? I accidentally put.
Yeah, you're specialized. It says you're so. Oh no, you're untrained. Oh, okay, there. Okay.
Should I say? Wait. Should I put it as untrained or trained? Because it's not part of my
It's
default ability. Like my default
it's
abilities without me
untrained.
adding.
If
Untrained. Gotcha.
okay, so yeah, it starts at untrained. If you don't have anything that adds to it, it is uh, you untrained. You're basically untrained in every single skill unless you are specifically trained or have an inability.
Oh, I'm trained in like fucking climbing, jumping, breaking things, and following and
So
IDing tracks.
here's a little metagame information for you.
Hmm.
Because you're oh no, you're untrained. Okay. That's what I was
Yep.
going to say. Because if you were trained or specialized in initiative, I was going to say the that gosh darn it, what was that skill that you had? opportunist would actually be bad for you because they have to get hit first.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, well, I mean, you could still hold your turn until something got hit and then act.
Well, I mean, if that was the case, I could have just like easily switched out like
Yeah,
opportunist
for
for
something
like
else.
an actual attack. Okay.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't, pooching yourself over on accident.
I think that's done. Am I allowed to save the last 11 shins I have, or do you think that I should just waste them?
I honestly would just waste them. Buy something.
Okay then.
First
So
aid,
let's see here.
first aid kits, lock picks.
All the armor, just all the armor.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, I could buy a. Now that he mentions it, oh my god! If I rolled just one more, I could have bought scale armor.
If you want it, you can have it. I'll allow it. It's only
Okay, yeah,
one. It's only one more shin. I'm not gonna.
yeah. I'll take it out of the next number of shins that I get.
Okay, so yeah, just put yourself at zero shins, and you can be wearing scale armor. Now, mind you, this system is very thematic, so your scale armor could be literally actual scales. It could be made out of circuit boards. You could have, I mean, just bits and pieces of metal dangling off of like a leather jerkin that acts as scale. Or, I mean, you could have. It's very thematic. It's up to you how you look, and I will require that you do give me a token to go off of.
Sounds good to me. All right.
So you have a
What kind of?
that's a two-handed weapon. Okay. Now you do
Yeah.
have your option of I think if you look at your starting equipment, glaives do start with two weapons.
Hold on. Yeah. Let me check that again. Uh. Yeah, I can any kind, and I can sub one for a.
What was that? Sub one for a what?
I can
Oh,
have two weapons
shield.
of any kind, and I can sub one for a shield.
But since you've already got
Oh.
a large
Okay,
weapon
wait. I
like
can't take
shield,
heavy armor. I can't take heavy armor. Only light or medium. So scale armor is a no.
well, it works differently than what you think. Okay? It says you're trained in medium, a light and medium armor.
Hmm.
What that means is you don't suffer any penalties while wearing light and medium armor. You can wear heavy armor and get 3 points of damage reduction. Howsoever, you will add 1 extra point to any time you use effort for speed tasks.
You know what? I'm just not gonna take it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be on the safe side for this one. This, you know. So
Okay.
that's back to 11 shins, and I will pretend like scale armor never existed. Instead, what I'll take is what is this one?
Let me get back to you. I'm going to go back to Dragon real quick and give him some
Yeah, of
attention.
course.
So
Yeah.
Dragon, what have you got so far?
We went with Mechanical, who is blessed by the gods. I'm trying to put stuff in the sheet right now.
No problem. I'll help you out
Special.
because I know it gives you Numenera knowledge. Numenera, no, oops. Okay. Intellect to train. Ta-da! There you go. And you got your special abilities, and I think it gives you. I gotta go over here. Page
Where did
5. How to play Numenera. Descriptors.
Sense magic,
And you,
Estory, and hedge magic.
yeah, you can use that as Sense Numenera in this system.
Okay.
So you get +2 to your intellect. And what I do is I start everything off at 0. And then we add backwards. So that's going to start off at 2. 2 to your intellect pool. And then you're trained in all actions involving understanding the Numenera. We got that. And sense magic, you can sense whether the Numenera is active in situations where its presence is not obvious. And then hedge magic. I think hedge magic Hedge magic is the Numenera equivalent of prestidigitation.
Nice.
So I'm going to add in hedge magic for you real quick.
Okay. Trying to do these since.
You're fine. That's why I like to have these little one-offs with people, so that when they get to the session, they've got their character, they know what they're doing, they understand the session, they know what's going on. We can just dive right in. Because my
Yeah.
sessions do go long. The last session I had was 5 hours and 45 minutes.
Jesus. And costs 3. Descriptor, Command V. Then just press enter again.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
That made a big block. Whoops.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, there we go.
Oh, I think I copied and pasted it like 3 times.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, that'll do it. Alright, so there's my protection ability, and then I also have knowledge.
I think I added your knowledge numenera in there already.
Or no, I meant the sphere,
Oh,
like the power.
gotcha. So, yeah, we should get that in there, and it should look something like that. And I do use heavy use of the combat pad. So this will be it is a D&D style dungeon crawl. I am a different GM. I do use heavy use of it. Most GMs here do theater of the mind.
Okay. I've worked both ends of that, so.
The system lends itself really well to theater of the mind. I do a mixture of both. I like to have a combat pad so people can visualize where they're at and what's going on,
Mhm.
and then use visual references and pictures and things of that nature to be like, okay, even though it looks like this room, this picture actually represents what the room really looks like, or give you like an opening, dialogue with a really cool infographic, so that you can be like, okay, this is where we're at. Like I had one, it was all theater of the mind, and arrayed on the outer edge of the backdrop were little tiny scrolls, and as
Mhm.
players would make successful tracking rolls to track their prey inside the dungeon, they would pick a scroll that would be the encounter.
Oh, that's neat.
And I thought that was a really interesting way to do, give players a slight bit of control, because I tried making the dungeon as normal, like, okay, here's a room, this room has X, this room has X, and things started not to mesh very well and not make any sense, and I'm just like, this is not working. It's not working the way I needed it to, and like, actually, what if I just had the players pick it, and then I can just drag and drop them into a random dungeon room, and that's the room that the encounter's in. And that worked
Yeah.
much better. The problem is my D&D brain was trying to force Cypher Numenera into a D&D box, and it doesn't fit.
So, and I have an inability in. It looks like. Where did that just go?
I think you
Inabilities in charm, persuasion, and deception. So let me just put those there. Charm, persuasion, and
Don't worry, you leave the charm to Xandar. He is very charming.
I have 0 of the charm. I am untrained.
It is okay, my friend. Xandar. I'd like to imagine Xandar the same way I have my profile pic in Roll20. When I think of Xandar, I think of him. He's very charming, as you can see.
Let me see. Let me go.
And I got an oddity, whatever that is.
Okay, hold on. I will roll that for you
Sorry.
just in a quick second. I'm Cypher. 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 Don't fucking. All right. And this, you must be Ripster. Who? Which one's? You must be Rip Shadow. Ripster Shadow.
Hmm?
I'm trying to figure out who's Mr. Thick on Discord.
Oh, Mr. Thick. That's the guy in the all Arabic lettering. Do you want me to change
Oh,
my nickname?
yeah. I was going to warn you about that. That's I'm like, that throws up a bunch of red flags for me.
Oh, don't worry. I've had red flags. I've been denied from games because people got scared after seeing my name in their DM. I don't I
I
don't
figured
understand it, but
I figured it was either a troll or someone who was of actual Arab descent. So
oh,
I'm
I
very.
very much am.
Oh, okay. You don't sound like it. You sound a
Oh,
very Midwestern fellow.
I've been told many times.
Hmm.
It's all good though, you know.
See, so one of my assumptions was correct.
Yeah, there you go. You see, it's okay to assume sometimes, but yeah, I wouldn't like fucking change my name to something if I don't have to do with those people. That seems kind of a little bit offensive to me. Like I have Arabic because I could speak it and it's what I speak. You know.
Right. It's just here's the problem, and it's not so much your name or the connotations. It makes it a real pain in the butt to message you in the cipher system
Oh
because
yeah, 100%.
I'm just like trying to figure it out, and it deletes like backwards and sideways, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, you see, it's because Arabic is read from right to left, so it really fucks with Discord. Like Discord doesn't understand how to do right to.
No, and it's just being. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just letting
No.
you know it's kind of a problem. I'm like, it took me like 12 tries to get you invited into the game. I'm like, oh, this mother trucker better be worth it.
No, don't worry, man. It's okay. Or I'm used to people not being able to type my name in Discord or having trouble with it. It's an aesthetic choice, I guess. Probably not the best one. Oh, it's all good. All right, so Saturday you're starting.
6
You know, I
p.m.
think that's yeah, 6 p.m. I think Saturday's going to be a good day for me because if all goes well, I might be also having a Cipher System game before that as well
Ah, good.
at like 1 p.m. So I'll have more than enough time to hop onto your game because I doubt it's going to last very long,
Right.
like over 5 hours.
Mine
Yeah, we're
do.
not.
Mine do.
I'm literally. Oh yeah,
I'm
it's
fine with
fine.
that. It just there might be a point in the day where I'm just like, I think I might die.
That's fine. That's totally fine. I allow people to cop out early. I do not expect you to be able to go the full gamut. Most people can't.
I probably let me see. Actually, let me look at my calendar for that day. So you said 6 p.m. your time, which is 7 p.m. my time, because I'm in EST.
Ah, there it goes.
Oh wait, I forgot. Yeah, I'm in EST. So what's the time for EST then?
7. We're an hour ahead of him.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's even better. If it starts at 7 for him, even better for me. That means that I have a 6 hour gap in between the games.
Well, it's 6 p.m. Central Time for when I start, which
Yeah,
is
7
7
p.m.
p.m.
for
your
us though.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I literally have like the first Cipher System game I'm doing on Saturday is starting at 1. If
Oops,
my
wrong
time,
one.
if yours is starting at 7, then I have like more than enough time to play and then
86
immediately hop into your game. I'm literally going back to back.
Oh God, that's gonna be rough for you.
You think it, sir? I have not played a tabletop role playing game in a long time, and
Oh,
I've
you're
really been waiting for this.
starved. You're starved. Yeah,
I'm in the same boat.
you're starved.
It's been a few months.
You're like, I
Same.
need.
Med school has killed me.
It's not even that. Like my group for a fantasy flight games, Star Wars RPG. The GM has been taking a break, and it's been a couple of months now. It's like it's such a good game. We're playing as uh like the Stormtrooper Commandos. It's such a great game. I love it. But he had to take a break. It's great. But you know what? Because of that break, I found the cipher system. You know the way I found out about the cipher system. I was on YouTube, and a guy that I used to watch reactions from, Hector. I just saw his face on the thing, so I was like, "Hey, let me see what this is all about." And I kind of got hooked. It's such an easy system to learn too. It's great.
Oh yeah, it's super fun. That's why I like it. So you get two things. So one was a 8132, so it's on the same table. 32.
Also, I forgot to tell you, I bought chainmail and lockpicks. That puts my shins down to 0.
Okay.
So there's that. I also put up the armor
Yeah,
speed
he
cost.
actually has two oddities that work well with each other. One is a handheld shredder that only works on or plant matter, and one is a spoon that heats anything you put into it to a warm eating temperature.
That
Awesome.
I am.
The weirdest things, but awesome.
I could not in a million years think of that myself. Like
I couldn't
somebody had to
either.
sit at a table and literally tell themselves, "Huh, what would be good?" And then somebody pitches in, "Hey, how about a spoon that immediately heats things to a good eating temperature?" They're like, "Yeah, genius. We're adding
Perfect.
that."
Well, no, think about it. It's like you don't even have to think about it like very hard. It's like what would be so awesome? Oh god, imagine a coffee stir that you put in your coffee and it just heats it up as you stir. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hold on. One book that I loved was Into the Weird or something like that.
Oh, injecting the weird. That I have that also.
Injecting the Weird. Oh my god, it's so good.
Yep, it's really awesome. I love that book. So,
Like I love it.
Mr. Dragon, what we need to
Yes.
do now, we've got your mechanical down, we've got your is blessed by the gods down. What we now need to do is pick your type. So you can, if you want, there is the Delve. The Delve is all about spelunking into the depths. They don't have a lot of combat abilities, but they have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? They have a lot of abilities that let them advance, let them explore, let them find things. The Glaive is all about fighting. The Jack
Hmm.
can go either way. You might want to gear yourself more towards an intellect-based character, which could be the
Yeah.
Jack or the Nano, because most
That's
of your
I was between those two. I was like, the Jack or the Nano would work better with this. So let's see here. Just skimming the Nano real quick, like the lore kind of things.
yep. And if you have the cash available, I highly suggest picking up Character Options One. It's like $10, I think, and it provides um, uh, races as classes, extra mutations, location-based descriptors. Um, what else? More foci, more descriptors, even and more powers for each tier.
Well, that's always good. Let me see here. That would be.
Also, I forgot that I also get sneaky boots and explorers.
Sneaky boots.
Yep.
What are sneaky boots?
Let me tell you real quick as I search it up on this PDF, this wonderful PDF.
Where are you getting sneaky boots from?
Oh, I also used I used a Numenera, how do you call it, character generator to help me a little bit,
Okay.
and it also states like all the stuff like inabilities, equipment, all that.
Ah, okay.
So it says two weapons, any kind, sub one for a shield if you want to, armor, additional weapon, sneaky boots, explorer's pack, shins. I start off with 5,
I,
ciphers 2,
I don't
clothing, and
I don't know what sneaky boots are.
that's what I was hoping that you wouldn't say because now I have to find out.
I don't know what sneaky boots are. I've
I
never
wish.
heard reference of sneaky boots. Let me go to my discovery, I guess, and try and find it.
Let me try and find it as well because I have never heard of this.
I've never heard of it either. Unless it's a
Is it
site?
supposed to be for? Is it supposed to? Maybe. Is it supposed to be for something for the stalker?
Maybe take a look at the stalker or the hunts. Might be something with who hunts.
That's what I feel like is when they say. Okay. Okay. Okay, Hunts, you are a tracker, blah, blah, blah. Connection, choose one of the... Yeah. I'm not going to do the whole connection
Here it
thing.
is. Additional equipment. You wear boots that muffle your footsteps, giving you an asset on any roll made involving sneaking.
Woo!
That's what it is.
That's an asset. That's fucking awesome.
All right. That's what that is.
Oh, dude, I didn't even know. That's great. That's an asset?
Yep. Uh-oh. You got
That's
Fluffy.
my dog. That's my dog. Sorry.
You got him all excited. He's like, Sneaky Boots! Oh god, Sneaky Boots!
Okay. Hold on,
Yep.
wait, and then what else? Explorer's Pack. I got one of those.
Everyone will start off with an Explorer's Pack, even if your thing doesn't suggest it. Or
Oh, okay.
state that you do. I'm beneficent that way. I don't think you
Also,
should start a
A
character.
beneficent DM?
Yes.
Never.
Yes, I know.
you gave me 2 ciphers
Yes.
and an oddity as well.
I do believe so. Should be on your character sheet.
Let's see. Uh, why can't I open my... There it is. Okay, character sheet open. Okay, the ciphers aren't popping up.
That's because they are on your avatar, not in your information. They're
Oh, okay, so I have 1 XP. Is the green one an oddity?
no, the green one is an asset.
Give me
The
30
green
seconds
one
to
is
go
asset.
calm down my dog.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What is the 2 golden?
You know what? I guess the golden ones are your ciphers.
Okay, so I do have 2 ciphers. Then you didn't give me an oddity. I don't...
I did
Oh, you did.
not.
Yeah, you did. The silken string.
Oh, that's right. The silken string. There it is. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I was just making sure. Right. This is great. I have everything that I need. I think that my character sheet is
You need one more weapon.
one more. Oh yeah, one more weapon. I don't have any money to buy it, so should I just choose?
No. You come with. Remember, your character sheet states you come with 2 weapons or a weapon and a shield.
Well, I already have a 2-handed. Hold
Yeah,
on,
you
page
already
9.
have a 2-handed weapon, so
I think that maybe I could just skip out on that.
I would not.
Okay, hold on. Should I just take a shield in that case?
What would be the point of using a sword
Yeah.
staff with a shield? You can't because it's a 2-handed weapon. It's a
Yeah.
large.
Should I?
I would suggest either a medium. I would suggest a medium crossbow or a medium bow. I would not
Okay, hold
suggest
on.
any type of heavy ranged weapon. You can, if you really want to go heavy ranged, you can. The
Oh,
problem.
hold on, man. I'm getting a call real quick. Give me.
Go ahead. Woof.
Yeah, sorry. I swear to God, I don't mean for my dogs to do these things, but they do these things.
Oh, it's fine. That's why I have these preliminary sessions is to when we go to the session and it's ready to go, we can sit down and game on.
Yup. So I'm looking through that book you told me about, and there's so many more options. I'm like halfway through like the nano new tier 1 abilities, and I'm like, oh god, so many other ones.
Oh, you actually went and got it?
Yeah. I have, so, should rephrase this. I have access to most of the books if I email my friend who has all of them.
Shh, remember, this is being recorded.
Oh, my apologies. So, rephrase that. Cut out that section and just say, so yes, I went and bought it.
Good. I'll
You
cut
just
out
put
the.
redacted over.
I'll cut out
Just
the person blowing their nose into my microphone also.
Yeah. So yeah, I went out and bought it. And I'm looking at these, and it seems like Nano actually fits much better with my idea of the techno
Techno
cleric. Yeah, so we're gonna make a techno wizard.
Techno wizard, nice. Riffs reference.
Yup.
Okay. Sword staff, so I'm gonna take away the sword staff. That's another 5 shins added back. I'm gonna take a 1-handed weapon instead.
Gonna go one-handed and sword.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do unless I see something that's cooler. Is a hammer. I'm kind of tempted to just get a hammer.
Let's see, character sheet. Oh no, why can't I not open my character sheet now?
You should be able to open it. Is it like a little opaque bar?
Yeah.
Double click on it.
Okay, so I think that I'm gonna take the broadsword, I guess. Or the flail. The flail seems like, a pretty abstract weapon compared. I think I'll take a flail.
Zoom out.
I am a fan of well, I'm not a fan. I'm a enthusiast of HEMA, historical medieval martial arts.
Oh yeah, I've seen a
Yes.
couple
So,
videos on it.
if you can make an argument for it, I allow your flail to bypass cover.
Oh. You see, I'm not very good when it comes to describing that kind of stuff, but you know what? I'll make stuff up on the spot.
Because if you look at the flail's design, that's really what it was meant to do.
I might have
Even
to reload the page real quick, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Even though the flail was not a very relatively well commonly used weapon, because the flail was actually derived from the peasant flail where they would thrash their grain.
Well, that
That's
just
where
Oh
the
crashed
wait,
and rebooted.
Yep. That's where the original flail is designed from, and then it evolved from there. And they have like historical, like medieval paintings, but they're really old and not very well done. They're more like tapestries, and they're meant to be, just like a backdrop. So when you start looking at a flail, its whole design is just terrible. It's
So I can
unwieldy. It can hit the wearer, but it does one thing really well, and that is um, it can go over cover. It can get around shields.
Can you imagine like drawing a block of flail, thinking you got it, and then the chain just
just
like wraps
whack,
around your shield,
yeah.
and hits you in.
Yeah, so
I could be useful and waste my last two shins on something like rope, in case we ever get in a sticky situation. But I think that cigarettes is a better option.
cigarettes is a much better option.
It's like, this is gonna
Should I do
suck.
something that's metagaming or should I make my character?
You know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm getting.
So let's see here.
Why would you need 50 feet of rope when you can have 12 cigarettes instead
Right?
for the same price?
So
Alright, and that is all of my money gone.
It goes
9
quick. You'll earn quite a lot through the session though.
and
Is this going to be a
14.
multiple session thing? Because I have seen one shots that are basically like, 5 sessions and then it's done. Or is
Oh
this going to be like a
God,
one session all the way?
this should be just a one session thing.
Oh, okay,
The only
gotcha.
reason the other one took me so long is it's part of Slaves of the Machine God, and you have to go through and salvage a giant mechanical arm. Well, um, you have to negotiate with the locals to gain access. Then you have to climb up 100-foot long joint into the mechanical arm that's jutting into the ground. And if you fail the DC 3 climb check, you roll a D10 and you fall that amount of distance.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it gets pretty. I've actually almost had a group TPK on the arm. Just trying to get into the arm. It's just
It's like 2 hours in, and you all fell and died. The end.
Oh no, that's a running gag through the whole entire thing. Is the ground is completely unstable and giving way, so at any time there can be a cave in, a collapse. You fall, and what I do is I have players make a speed check. If they fail that, they roll a d10, and if they roll low, like 1 to 5 ish, they get tangled up in cables and they only take a little bit of damage. But if they roll past that 50 feet, they go all the way down.
Oh. Alright, boys, I think I finally finished this. Oh no, wait, hold on. My dumbass. Okay, there we go. So wait, I can take Am I allowed to? I'm sorry, I'm blanking. I don't know what I was gonna say. Fucking.
Oh my god, you have a demon sphere. Jesus.
What? What's a demon sphere? You want to explain?
It's on your card.
Wait, can I just press the thing to see it,
Yeah, you
or?
just click on it, and then it brings up all your cards, and then you click on the one you want to see.
Ah, yes, of course. I have the demon sphere, of course. Yes, yes, that's something that all people would want. Let's read that.
You
Uh,
got you got two really complicated ones.
okay, so usual. A 6-inch orb of steel. God, that is like some bad quality. It's hard to read it.
Yeah, I
Of steel
apologize.
lattice with a reflective red sphere. Let me just see. Where would I find this if I searched it up? Would it be in Numenera?
Yeah, it would be
Short
the
can.
technological compendium. Well, it might be. I don't know where I
Hold
got this one
on.
from.
What is that?
It's a cipher, a tech compendium.
Cipher.
It might
Okay,
be. It might be.
cipher.
Yeah, dude,
Do I have the tech compendium?
probably not. It's more of a GM resource than a player resource.
I mean, I have a couple GM resources just because, you know.
It is not
So,
in
but I
the.
never really checked.
I don't think
Oh, I do have the
it's.
technology compendium.
Ah, there it is.
Well, I really am a genius. I do have the compendium.
Yep.
Why did I get this? I guess.
Why did I? That is my question every day.
Why did I get this? Okay, Demon Sphere. 81. Oh my god. Alright, let's see. Let's see what this thing does. Okay. Demon Sphere. So it's a 1d6 plus 4 for the level. So do you want me to roll that?
You roll it when you use it.
Oh, okay. A 6-inch orb of steel lattice with a reflective red sphere in the center. And what's the effect? This is a dangerous cipher to use. Perhaps giving rise thanks. When activated, it creates a horrific sound, a combination of shrill shrieks and low rumbling, which also might account for its name. At the same time, red streaks of energy lance out at a number of intelligent targets within short range equal to the cipher level. If there are more targets than streaks of energy, the targets are determined randomly, meaning that the user could be a target. I'll just tuck that one away in my pocket.
It's the hey, here's a nuke. Why do I have a nuke?
Oh, it's
Oh,
uh,
hold on, go ahead.
read the effect at the very bottom of the card.
Oh, the effect. Hold on. Let me go back to it. Hold on. Where did I just put it? My dumbest. Okay. Effects. Oh, the streaks of energy. I didn't know. Why didn't I read this part? The streaks of energy are extra-dimensional conduits, tying the targets to an ultra-terrestrial intelligence with a level equal to the cipher level. Excuse me? What? The intelligence attempts to control the target's actions for 1 round per cipher. This is horrific.
Sounds about it. Sounds about right.
This sounds like something the devil would think. Attempts to control the target's actions for 1 round per cipher level. Eligible targets include machine intelligences or any living creature more substantial than an insect. The ultra-terrestrial intelligence has a motive and understanding all its own, but it is utterly alien, thus it can do almost anything. But if desired, roll D100 each round instead, and I can choose the target's action with a D100. This is horrific.
That is fun, is what that is.
Do you understand? The user could be dragged into.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm aware. This is the thing you throw from about a mile away at a group of enemies.
This is like something like you would try and drop from like a cliff just to make sure that you're safe enough distance away. Like the enemies are down there, you like
Now,
drop it from
read the effect on the card, though. What is at the very bottom?
the very bottom. I did read the effect. Hold on, Demon Sphere effect.
It's all the
Okay,
way.
read it for me because
It's right there. Yeah.
I'm at target's action.
On the card on roll 20.
Card. Oh, the card. Okay, let me go back to roll 20. Open the card. Fuck. Okay, hold on. open image, a new tab so I can actually read it. Make incomprehensible gestures. Dude, this I don't want to use this thing.
Would you like me to give you another one?
No, I'll keep it in my pocket for, safekeeping.
Safekeeping. Oh
It's
Lord.
like it's like the other players are like, "Hey, what's that thing?" I like tuck it back into my pocket. Oh,
Nothing.
So, question for you. Since I'm
Yes.
trying to do my stats now,
Hmm.
I get 7 might, 9 speed, 12 intellect, plus the 2 intellect I get from my
Hmm.
Blessed by the Gods.
Yep.
And it says I have 6 points to distribute.
Yes.
Is it better to, I
For a
guess the term would
newbie,
be min max into intelligence? Because
no.
that's basic.
No, it is
Okay.
not. Um, in kind of a weird analogy, it's good to have a 10 in all your stats. Much like D&D, you don't want to go below 10 unless you're really familiar with the system and you really understand how your character is going to work. Um,
Okay, so the 7 and 9 will make to 10s, and that leaves me 2 points, so my intellect goes up to 16.
yep. That
Done.
that will trust me. I tell players this all the time. Make sure you have a 10 in each of your stats at least, because if stuff goes south, like a heavy weapon does 6 points of damage.
Oh, so yeah. Auto kill me?
And if you roll really poorly, so you're a nano, so your defenses are not great. Your defenses are your party, you know.
Yeah.
So and you have ward, or no, you have the protection thing,
Protect, yeah.
which helps you with all, I think, defense tasks: speed
Yes.
defense, intellect defense, and might defense. So as long as you have
If
that
I
up,
use it.
if you use it, you're a lot better off. In fact, I would suggest getting a shield.
Yeah. I was thinking that. Shield and armor, if
Yep.
possible.
Uh,
Or
here's the
or no,
thing.
I don't get armor as a nano.
You
Womp
can
womp.
you can wear armor. Here's the thing. It's not like D&D where if you're not trained in it, you can't really use it because you take so many massive penalties. If you want it and you can afford it, you can wear heavy armor. Um, the problem is if you use effort for speed tasks, like a ranged attack roll or anything that requires speed, like balance, running.
You mean the things most people do? Yeah.
Yes,
So no.
you will take. It will cost, your effort will cost an additional amount equal to the armor bonus that you have.
Okay.
So the best way for you to get around that is to use your esotery. That gives you bonuses or an asset. Now, does it say asset or is it a step reduction?
Step reduction.
Ooh, wow, that's powerful.
Protection is a step reduction.
See, that's a bonus all in of itself because that's not trained and that's not an asset.
Yeah.
So that's
Cost an action, 3 stat points in intellect. I create a small bubble that protects me in an immediate radius. Moves with me, and I can make all creatures that are within it designated by me to also get the effect.
yep. So yeah, that's super powerful.
This
So
is this is the nope bubble, the Mass Effect barrier field.
so what I would highly suggest is, okay, first of all, we need to roll your. Well, did you write down your gear and equipment?
No, I'm still working on that.
Okay,
Sorry.
get to that. Actually, roll 4d6 if you could, please, and add that to your starting shins.
4d6. 14.
14. So add an additional 14 shins. A shield is only 2 shins and adds a asset to your speed defense rolls.
Yeah, we'll do that then. Let me first.
And you'll
I'm just.
probably have, I would suggest, like, you don't even have to have a light weapon, honestly, because your first nano power should be onslaught. That is your bread and butter attack power.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm like just lightning bolts for everyone.
Yeah,
Um.
it's completely thematic how you want your onslaught to manifest.
Okay. So I have an edge of 1. I'm like
Oh
flipping
boy.
between the tab that has D20 open and then my Adobe document, so
You're fine.
it's taking me a few moments here. I am an
Uh,
expert cipher user. I can bear 3 ciphers at a time. I don't know
Okay,
where I
so
put that.
three
Let's
ciphers. Next
limit
to your
3.
cipher limit. Yep.
There it is. Cipher limit. So I'll just change that to
Now, mind you,
3.
cipher limit does not mean the amount that you can only hold. You can go over your cipher limit, but you have to roll a D100 plus 10 for every unit over that you go.
Okay.
And if you'd like to see the cipher danger table, here you go.
0 to 60, nothing happens. Ooh. So that's not as bad.
Oh no, it's not a bad. Keep going down the list.
Oh god. It gets real bad. It gets real bad.
201 plus a tiny singularity is created.
Yeah, I only saw like when it popped up in my window, it was 0 to 60 to the 100, and you're like, scroll down, and I'm like, oh god. And I started seeing like the 130 and the 140, and I'm like, oh. Ew.
It gets.
So what you're telling me is I could suicide bomb with like 10 ciphers.
Probably.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh no.
So.
Would you like to have the demon sphere while you're at
Sure, no. Hard pass on all of that. Hard pass on all of that. Limit is 3. 3 will only be all I have. Oh, I'm trained with Numenera again. So that means
You bump it up to
then
specialized.
to specialized.
Alright, boys. I'm gonna have to leave for now.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but this was great. I think that my character sheet is done. Do you want to look
I'll look
just
over
one
it
last time to
one
see?
more time. Yeah,
Yeah, just to
Xandar.
see.
All right, 17 might, 11 speed, 10 intellect, 1d6 plus 1. Oh,
Hmm.
so flail. So we're gonna go over here.
Yeah, I
4.
forgot about that. 4 damage, yep.
I got you. There you go. And we're gonna
Wait,
go.
shouldn't I be trained in it since it is a medium weapon?
Are you trained in it though? You're only
Hold on.
you're only practiced. You're practiced in all weapons.
So where do I put
Uh,
practice? Because the only options are untrained, trained, and specialized.
Well, you're
okay, so
specialized in Numenera.
Well, yeah, for
Alright.
Numenera I am, but I meant for like my weapons because I get light weapons.
Oh,
Or would I write that down?
just you see where it says weapons?
Yeah.
Just put in light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just practiced in light weapons. That's what I use that section for, because if you have a weapon you make attacks with, I put it into the attacks macro. Like anything you can make an attack with, like your onslaught power or some type of weird esotery or a cipher or anything like that that's reusable, I put it into
Okay.
the attack section. And don't forget, you do have your player intrusions.
Yes. I start with clothing, one weapon.
One more thing, Xandar, before you go.
Yeah.
I need you to read this because I handle stuff a little bit differently. Scroll,
Yeah, no problem.
scroll all the way through that.
Uh, okay, yeah. Experience, XP, GM intrusions. XP is divided into 2 group bennies. Advancement. Advancement XP is only earned upon quest completion, identifying an artifact, correctly using an integrated machine. Other miscellaneous discoveries, areas, explorations. XP for combat. It's directly into. Okay. Bennies are rewarded for good roleplay, ingenious use of a cipher, and thinking outside the box for solutions. The well-written character background and the first GM intrusions. GM intrusions will generally occur on a
So we
roll
have
of a
basically
1.
a locked EXP for advancement, and then all the other EXP for the rerolls that we're definitely going to have.
Right, yeah. I've found in my years of playing the system, this allows players a lot more character freedom.
Okay, this makes sense to me. Yeah, I get it.
So I only usually GM intrude on a nat 1 unless it's something absolutely hysterical and has to happen, which is rare. Or you somehow manage to use a cipher a oddity, and a power in some kind of weird conjunction and manage to bypass the entire system, in which case I have to do a group GM intrusion and say, just, no, that's not how this is going to work. Otherwise, you're going to bypass the entire session. I've had that happen twice. They used
And so,
they used an oddity, combined it with a cipher, combined it with a power, and managed to come up with a way to bypass the entire session.
I can just, I can just see it already. We try doing that, and the demon GM intrusion, the demon cipher explodes,
So,
and it grabs all of you together, and you.
more than likely, I'll just say like, no, it's just not going to work that way. As hard as you try, it's not. Mainly because if I did, you would basically end the session right here.
Yeah, I understand.
So yeah, I will only typically GM intrude on a nat 1. You'll get 1 XP, and I'll use the GM icon as the party XP pool, and then you can use that party XP for anything that is on that list as long as the party agrees to it.
All right then.
Rather than trying to hand it out to someone else, because that plays into favorites, um, that plays into other people just only giving it to one person. It's kind of like when you go into a bathroom, you always use the same stall. The first person you throw it at is going to be the. It's just human nature, and this way it creates a communal pool. Everyone can see how much is in it, and everyone can argue for whatever purpose they want it for. Rerolls, an extra recovery roll, purchasing an artifact, things of that nature.
All right, sounds good to me then. Makes sense actually. All right, man. I'm down for it. Okay. So I think my character sheet is totally done.
Yeah, you're
Which is
you're
good.
you're golden, sir. I didn't need to give you much.
Yeah, I was just first Cypher game. I wasn't exactly used to the entire attack system, you know. So
Yeah, you've actually got quite a lot going on for your character.
yeah,
You can ignore the community defender stuff. That's never going to crop up in these one shots. I don't think.
we don't know that. Maybe it'll happen.
Depends if, like I said, if you want to keep the character around, I'll after the session. If you want to keep him, I'll throw him into my. I have a special folder. It's called the repeat offenders list.
Oh yeah, okay. I saw that in the journal.
Yep, those are my repeat offenders.
Do you do the same adventure every time, or do you choose different ones every one
I
shot?
I do different ones every time.
All right, sounds
I
good, man.
have all the core. I have all the core one shots. I have the 10 Weird Adventures one shots. I have these one shots, which are the new Numenera Explorer keys. I've got Expanded Worlds, Into the Night, Into the Deep, Priests of the Aeons, um, Gods of the Fall,
You know, one
Predation.
thing I do have,
What?
and
Oh,
it's like a
strange.
10. I have a 10-minute MP3 file called City of Niliesh or something.
Oh,
I don't
City of
know what that is.
Niliesh, yeah.
It's audio. I've never touched it. I don't even know what it is.
But I've got over 20. Oh, I've got Jade Colossus you can go through. I've got like 4 or 5 Jade Colossus one shots to go through. One of them is almost unbeatable. I'm afraid to throw people at it actually.
Oh, dude, I love challenges. So if you're ever down to, gather a bunch of people who are ready to just take that one on, probably get their asses beat and die in the first, 3 hours, I'm down.
No, no.
Dark
This
Souls? Dark
this
Souls?
this one will kick your ass within the first 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh.
Oh, even better.
So what you're
Alright.
telling me is once we reach tier 6, then we can fight it.
Actually, it's not that tough. They're only level 3s. It's the problem. The problem is how I designed it. The design. Do you remember Donkey Kong? Old school Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now imagine you're on a cliff. You're approaching at this cliff, and there is a Donkey Kong system of chutes and ladders that you have to go up. And at each platform, there is a for lack of a better term, a goblin,
Mm.
and you have to either take the goblins out, but if you notify them, they start attacking as a swarm. So you have to do a stealthy takedown. However, at one point you're going to fail. At that point, they start chucking barrels filled full of fun things at you.
Not fun.
And then if you fail your check to jump over the barrel, you start falling. And every time you fall, you hit the ladder below or the bridge below you and take an additional 2 to 4 points of damage. You get
Oh
another
my
check.
god.
You get another check. There are 4 platforms you have to traverse to get to the top. And a
Dude.
goblin guard at each end of each platform.
Those are not fun.
So they will start chucking barrels at you, and you have to start jumping to avoid the barrels. If you fail, you fall. If you fall, you hit down below, and like I said, the barrels are full of fun things.
Well, good thing I'm trained in jumping.
So, it's not like a difficult thing. It's just the sheer number of them.
Yeah.
You can't pass all the rules.
They're gonna get you. I've had multiple parties, not TPK, but basically just they just quit. They just like, nope, can't.
You know one thing I'm so down for one day?
Mm.
Like when it actually comes down to it, a superhero one shot. Because apparently I don't see people running superhero games, which is a surprise.
I don't have that book.
Which one? Unmasked?
Unmasked, yes.
I actually got that one. If you want me to like email you a copy, I'm totally. I
No,
mean,
I'm.
not emailing you a copy. If you want help, you know, with setting up a game, I can totally help you
There you
because
go.
I have. God, I
Oh,
am such.
it's fine. I'll buy it. It's just my shtick is Numenera.
I understand. You know, I don't even think that you'll really need the Strange for a
I
superhero game. You could
don't
probably run a superhero game.
I don't like the
Uh,
strange. Don't get me wrong. I like the strange as a system, as a setting, or I like it as a setting. I don't like the system because it makes you change your dang character sheet all the time. And as soon as you change, you have to change your focus every time you translate,
yeah.
which means you have to have multiple flipping character sheets. And depending on the character or the foci you have, it can completely mess over your character. So it's really difficult. All right,
Honestly,
what did?
you could probably just use the Cipher system in itself, like the core book for a superhero game.
Yep.
It pretty much has everything that you need.
Ooh,
Like, I don't
that's a new
really.
one. Oh, oh, Lancer Dragon. Why'd you have to get that one?
Oh, I have
What?
expanded
Get
worlds?
Ward?
No.
Get
Look at your
which one?
ciphers.
Oh god, what did you just
I too shall look at a Cipher.
what did you just give me? I don't want to know. Let's see here.
Oh, I do. I would love to know. Oh, I accidentally pressed Steve. I'm an idiot.
Just hit
Just
no way.
ignore that. Yeah, just hit no way. Ignore that. Thank you. That was
Weird.
dumb. Okay, so you got target boost. If you use an ability that affects a target, you can affect an addition. That's not what he's talking about. Screaming Madness sounds about right.
I saw that and I'm like, oh
I
no.
don't know. I can't see them for some reason. One sec.
Hold on.
Click on the card on your avatar, and then scroll your mouse over the card you want to look at, and click on it again, and it'll give you a nice little pop up.
Okay, one sec. Click on the card. Ah, here we go.
Also, when did I have the Expanded Worlds book? I don't remember having this. I guess I have Expanded Worlds. Sure. I'll take it.
I can make things fall asleep. And I have Screaming Madness.
Okay. Small, usable, small red polygon effect. 1 round after activation, this device emits a loud, piercing noise. Living creatures within immediate range suffer 2 points of intellect damage, ignores armor, and for all those affected, the user makes a second roll. Those affected by the second roll are driven mad temporarily. So, sounds like you could do some real good with the demon spear.
Activate the most powerful ability available, cipher or artifact.
Demon Sphere.
If none attack. Yeah, Demon Sphere. If none roll again, then hide. So I basically make people go crazy, throw out their alts, and then just run.
Not only that, the noise continues for 5 rounds, and the damage and madness continue each round, affecting those that remain or enter the area. We're gonna break
this is another nope rope. This is another we throw this and run. This is what we do. If the boss has a whole bunch of minions, at the end of this thing, we just throw these, close the door, and run. Come back in an hour.
He's like sitting there in his throne. I have been expecting you. We're like, nope, we just throw the ciphers in there, close the door behind. We just kind of like sit outside, twiddling our thumbs while he screams in agony.
Yep.
As his body's being like warped, and we're like, yep. Mm-hmm.
Actually, what you do is you throw the Demon Sphere in, and then you throw Screaming Madness in after him.
That's even better.
You just hear the guy screaming in agony.
I should not be giving you guys ideas.
You like open the door a little bit. Hey man, you done dying? Yeah, nope, okay.
Are you done dying? Nope. Okay, we're just gonna leave now. Alright, so I think I just need to pick equipment, which I'm scrolling to now.
Alright. For now, though, I'm going to leave, guys.
Yep.
If you want to talk more about what's going to happen in the game or whatever, just ping me tomorrow. I leave college pretty early tomorrow.
You can post in the Learn to Cipher channel.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, of course. Alright, I'll see y'all.
Hand axes, darts, and so forth. So
I don't keep track of ammo. I find it tedious.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like the TDF.
Yeah, it's you don't need to keep track of ammo. I don't know why they put that in there. It's just you have ammo, unless you roll like a nat 1, and I feel like being a complete dingus, and while you're shooting your bow, you realize, oh, I didn't bring enough ammo. Crap.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the classic throwing knives.
Okay.
I don't know what modifiers or anything they have, though.
They're a light weapon, so they have a mod of 1 and do 2 points of damage.
Yup. Sounds about right. Okay, let's see here. And they're 1 shin.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, but dart thrower can be thrown at long range.
Yeah, dart thrower throws darts.
So are they... Yeah, let's do that one then. I feel like I'm not going to be at close range to things, so I prefer not to be. So that's 11 shin, though, for a dart thrower and 12 darts. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that is expensive. Let's figure out the rest of my equipment first.
Or you could just take like a dagger, because you're going to be taking onslaught, and onslaught's going to be your primary power.
Yeah. Okay.
For up close and long range, or short range. It goes up to short range.
Okay. So then, yeah, we'll just take the dagger, which I get, or no, I get a free light weapon. So
yeah, I honestly would just take the dagger.
Yeah.
Because you're probably going to be using a shield, which is 2 shins.
Yeah.
That
dagger.
way you can at least have 1 asset on all your speed defense rolls.
And 2. And where do I put the shield?
You can put it in your inventory,
Okay.
And you can just remember, when you make speed defense rolls, you have an asset, because you're going to have your shield out. And it is not an action to, like, if you go into combat, you don't have to spend an action like taking your weapons out. You don't have to worry about attacks of opportunity or anything like that.
Okay. So then we have that, and I don't have money, or I don't have any skill in armor, and I don't have the speed to take into account the speed pull reductions. So
It's not a speed pull reduction. They did that differently. It's no longer a speed pull reduction. What it is when you make effort on speed tasks, or when you use effort on speed tasks, you then add your armor bonus into the effort cost.
okay,
So if you're wearing heavy armor, your first rank of effort is going to be 6 points.
yeah, and we don't want that.
I've had wizards or nanos who just say, you know what, screw it. If I'm going to get hit, I'm at least going to have heavy armor because they're not making their speed defense. They're not going to be spending effort on speed defense anyway.
Yeah. Alright, so all I really need is equipment. Yes, we'll do that. Bag of light tools.
Yep.
That could work. We'll do that.
Bag of
There goes all of my money.
goes fast when you're at first tier character creation because the system really isn't about gear and equipment. It's more about
Yeah.
ciphers and artifacts and things of that nature.
I got a bag of light tools now and a dagger, and I have 2 shin left.
And don't forget, you do start with an explorer's pack.
Okay. Let me put that in here.
Because why wouldn't you start? Why wouldn't you start with an explorer's pack?
You are such a benevolent GM.
You're here to have fun.
Alright.
You'll say I'm a benevolent GM now.
Until we get to the rolls, yeah, I was about to say. I'm like, he's either really nice or he's definitely trying to kill me.
Last session was terrible. I started calling out the nat ones and failures before they ever rolled.
Oh god, you're so mean.
I'm like, here it comes. Here comes the failure. You don't know that. 2. Told you. Shut up. You don't talk no more. I'm like, okay.
Yep. Sounds about right. What can I buy with 2 gold that's something fun?
Matchsticks.
Yeah, matchsticks. We'll buy 2 things of matchsticks. So 0, and we'll go with matchsticks. Quantity 2. And there's my money gone. And I have 1 armor. From Ward. From Ward.
Oh, you did take Ward, so you're taking Onslaught and Ward, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Figured those would probably be the best bets. You said armor's important, and Onslaught's going to be my actual attack spell, so...
Armor for a nano is not that important.
Okay.
It is for a jack, and it is for a glaive.
But I'm going to be standing at the back and hopefully not touching anything.
If you have access to the character options 1, there is a very good defensive power for
Resonance Field?
Yes.
Okay, I was between that and Ward. I was like, eh.
Here's the thing. You can use effort on your resonance ward, and since you have an edge in it, it only costs you 2 points. The downside is it's only against attacks that are in immediate distance. So if you get hit by a ranged attack, it won't work. But you're not worried about the attacks from range.
Yeah, so that's better.
Because if it's at range, then the fighters are dealing with it.
Yeah, exactly. So, alright. Resonance Field costs 1 intellect point. I think I did all that right.
Now, I do allow players to have a number of active effects equal to their edge active.
So I could just have a resonance field active at all times?
Yes.
Because it costs 1 and my edge is 1?
Yes.
Oh, that is important to know.
I allow that.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't allow it, but it
Not when you have nanos.
but the problem comes in when you have enough edge to cover something and it doesn't cost you nothing but an action and it lasts for a minute. Why wouldn't you have it just on all the time?
Yeah. Oh, so if it costs an edge of 1, there is no cost for me.
That's right, because it costs. I do believe Resonance Field is 1 point, correct?
Yes, Resonance Field's 1,
Mm-hmm.
and so is Onslaught. So I can just spam Onslaught every turn?
Yeah.
Oh, this makes me so happy.
So the only thing that's going to drain you are your actual active focus powers, the defensive field and the knowledge field, or
Yeah.
the knowledge power.
The knowledge one we bumped down so that it's only 1 creature,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a 2 cost then, but then it's a 1 cost.
Yep.
So that's not even that bad.
No, it's you will get nickeled and dimed to death. I'm not a GM that's going to hit you for 8 points of damage. I'm a GM that's going to say, hey, you want to spend effort on that? Yeah, sure. And like 3 hours in, you're at half health for all your shit because I've been asking you to do silly little things.
Yeah. All
So
right, so I
I
think it's done.
the one of the worst ones I had, and this was when I ran last Sunday. One of my rights got augmented with a spider body,
Oh.
and and he's an AI, so his spider body is like metal.
Hmm.
It's all synthetic looking and super streamlined. So he's got a spider body, and one of the first things he did was accidentally touch something before he understood what it was. And if you touch it, it bonds you, and everything on your body touching the ground is bonded.
Oh.
And he specifically wanted actual spider legs. So all 8
8
of them
legs were.
bonded. Yep. And in order to remove your leg from the surface, you have to inflict 1 point of damage.
So he had to inflict 8 points of damage on himself?
9 because his hand was stuck to it also.
Oh, oh no.
I about died.
Yeah, I would too.
He's sitting there like, no. I'm like, unless you've got the equivalent of Numenera goo off, you're stuck. Luckily, it was the last room in the dungeon. He walked out with 1 hit point left.
Yeah, that'll
I'm
do
like,
it.
dude, you're the one who said you wanted all 8 legs. Just shut up.
Yeah. All right. So, I think the sheet is done.
Yep. We will also be doing salvaging if you want to do that. And here are my salvage.
Steal from the dead bodies? Yes, always.
Well, it's not so much steal from the dead bodies. Oh, I have not updated this. Oh, this is not the updated table. Hold on. Ignore that. Ignore all of that.
Ignoring.
Ignore all of
Closed
that
it.
crap. Jesus. Hold on. I was like, wait. That's not right. I've had to go through like several levels of salvage because salvage as written does not work.
Ah.
Crafting works.
Well, there'll probably be a lot of both of those things in my character's future, hopefully. Alright, so how do I add a photo to you? Still trying to remember how to... There it is. Let me find a photo. Let's see here.
There we go.
Ready? Here we go. Salvage road. What are Lodum?
Iotum are the. Do I not have my? Oh my goodness. These are Iotum.
Ah. Okay, so they're like building materials,
Yep, they're
basically.
building materials, but they also have consumable uses.
Okay. So let's see here. Salvage minors and majors.
And if you want to add a token to your character in the top right, it will say edit. And then once you go to that screen, in the far left upper corners, you will see a place to add a token.
Yes. Click. It's the avatar. Click to upload.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll find a picture for. Yeah, let's see something fun.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do things for like a machine god priest because Warhammer 40k is just like, did you mean tech priest? You're like, no.
No, no, I didn't mean tech priest. I wish I meant tech priest. A little too early for tech priest. Maybe in like tier 4, we're looking at tech priest.
Actually, if you salvage enough stuff and you make enough games, I'll allow you to craft in between sessions.
Ooh, that makes things better. Let's see
Because crafting is
here.
incredibly intense.
But I have the intellect for it. In
It's not
theory.
it's not so much the intellect. It's the time, it's the number of iotum you require, it's the parts, um, it's everything in between, and it's very difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really difficult.
So you're telling me I can't make giant robot soldier companions and take over the world, twirl my evil mustache?
You could, but you're the wrong class. You would need to be a right. Unfortunately, rights are the weakest starting class in the game.
Oh. So no
Um,
evil mustache twirls.
Unfortunately, no, not for you. I'm not saying you can't, but if you wanted to be an actual crafter, someone who's actually all about the crafting and the salvaging, then you want to be a right. If you want to do crafting light, a nano's a second good choice.
Okay, so we'll stay the nano.
The problem with the right is power scale.
Mhm.
Rights quickly escalate in power as they craft their stuff. Um, to the point where I have a right in my other game, and he has figured out how to do 22 points of damage with an artifact and a couple other things.
Well, that'll do it.
It's like boom, problem solved.
The nerf please category? Are they in the nerf please category?
Well, it's no, that's the thing is the amount of iotum he's had to use and spend to get to where he's at is roughly about 1200
Oh,
plus like a year and a half of in-game time.
yeah, that'll do it.
And he's pulling punches because some of the stuff he has, he's a sample taker, so he takes samples of everything. He
Hmm.
has a 20-foot tall. See, I thought I was being mean. He rolled a nat one when he hit a big bad with a
Hmm.
iotum ray, and it went askew. So I pulled a GM intrusion card, and it's like, oh, the creature is much bigger and tougher than normal. So I made like this dramatic, oh, he grows a lot bigger and gnarlier, and he goes up a couple levels, and you're like, ah. And they spent like 2 hours trying to down this thing.
Well, that'll do it.
Unbeknownst
Let's.
to me, because of my cipher deck that I use, it's literally 996 ciphers. I can't prepare for ciphers. Okay, I just toss you whatever you get tossed is whatever you get tossed. The scale goes from cures flatulence to summons an extra dimensional being to control you all to do weird shit.
Yeah, we have one of those.
You have a couple of those. Um, so he took a sample of it, and then later in that adventure, found a cipher that allowed you to grow a level 1 follower version of the creature.
Oh.
But it's
And then
still
he just has been leveling it up ever since.
yes. So it is now a level 5, 20-foot tall giant bug.
Oh, this one looks interesting. Let's see
Called
what this one is.
Gorgunta.
Gorgunta.
And the worst part is he built a Numenera pylon, a teaching pylon, so it knows and understands and speaks the common tongue and can also tear apart Numenera like a trained professional.
Oh, that's always good.
And
Okay, I
his
don't want Warhammer art. Come on, guys. I just want
told
I
you.
just want a priest that isn't Warhammer. Let's try. Okay, let's start
Did
this.
you mean
Cyber.
did you mean tech priest? No.
Let's just put cyberpunk. That might, for whatever reason, have something that's priesty that's not ridiculous. No, most of these are ridiculous. Dang it. It's finding a picture that fits what I was thinking. Because I'm feeling like since all of his powers are mechanical, he's definitely going to have like machine parts coming out of him.
I wonder if we type in cyber priest. Oh god.
The rabbit hole of the internet.
Could go good, could go bad. Maybe? This is hysterical, and I can. Oh, this one's cool. This one's cool. You might like this one.
Throw up a cool one.
I will throw you up a cool one. All right. Where are you, Mr. Dragon? There you are.
Let's find it.
He looks cool.
Internet. Oh yeah, that looks cool. I'll steal that.
I'm in a good. No, that's not really quite. It's a
Man.
little too techy. All right, dang it. That one would look cool if it wasn't so ugly.
Like the problem with some of these is like they're either like too small files or
I'm probably gonna say no to this one. Unfortunately, it's
it's a Warhammer character.
yeah.
Always Warhammer.
Listen, I tried. Okay,
Oh no, I understand it completely, bro. I've known the life of trying to have something techie without it being Warhammer.
Here's another cool one. Come here.
Oh yes, that one. We're going with that one. That one
That's
fits exactly what I was thinking.
All right, perfect.
All right, so let's download you. Save image to downloads.
I will make
Clicking
a
up.
token out of this one.
That's in my download. Choose. Oh, why didn't it let me choose that? PNG image. There we go. Save changes. Boom. Now I have a picture. The worshipper of the tech god.
Do you want me to cut this guy off at the waist for your token?
Yeah, that works.
Do you want the staff on top or his head to be the top? Because his staff's a bit.
Let's have the staff be the top.
All right.
Get all the lightning.
Okay, and what color do you want your border? Or do you want no border?
Let's do red.
On a red border? Okay. Now it's going to be...
That's usually easy to see on most backgrounds, so.
It is. It is. Alright, download. Save. Numenera. Okay, go over here. And I'm going to drop you over into these guys right here. Because these are my...
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
These are my
Yes, please.
These are my league players.
Is one a freaking angel?
Yes. He rolled a mutant and got wings.
That'll do it. I'm gonna try and find his character sheet now. Please forgive me, but I'm super curious.
I don't think you'll have access. Well, you'll be able to read it, I think.
Repeat offenders. Here we go. Toby. I get a bio info, that's it. Womp womp. Just the picture.
Let me see.
I want to know more about you, Toby.
There you go. I think that'll work.
Oh yeah, that looks super cool. And it makes sense, because I'm going to shoot lightning at people. Or lasers, I don't know what I want to do with the onslaught yet.
Alright, I'm gonna...
Just got to build fluff, and that's it.
Alright. So...
But awesome, I think this is all done, and then I'll just
what was your
write up and
name?
build up.
Oh,
I
we're gonna say
didn't.
this Lancers. Alright, and then we're gonna go might. Oh, come on. No, not... you bugger. There. Oh, set your totals, if you could, please.
Set my
There's your current and your totals, yes.
So the current in the pool. There we go.
Yep.
That makes more sense. What, I don't have pools of 0 and
No.
die instantaneously?
No, it's everything's just temporary hit points for you.
10, 10, 16. Alright.
10, 50, and compact, alright.
That's all saved. And I will, in my free time one of these other days, come up with some background information and a character name and
That's fine.
so on and so forth.
Totally okay.
But I believe we are done, and that is how you make a Numenera character in an hour and a half.
So yeah, I wasn't that far off, was I?
You weren't, no. Because there's a lot of like things where you're just like, well, that's cool, but that's also cool, but that's also cool.
Yeah.
So I want all of them.
No, you can't have that. Sorry. All right.
Not yet. Not till we get EXP and can level up.
Well, are you familiar with how that works?
Not really.
Okay, so if you look on your character sheet, let me go to your character
Mhm.
sheet. In the middle section, all the way at the bottom, you'll see advancements.
Okay.
Typically, you need 4 advancement XP to purchase an advancement. Now, when you advance, you will have a list of options available to you, and these are some of your options. Vanna, show what the prize contestant has won. So, these are your options.
Increase edge, increase capacity, increase skills. Armor training.
So the system is a lot less chunky than D&D. Rather than having a full level of doing basically nothing, you progress incrementally. So your character gets incrementally more powerful. And you will always, a good GM should always give you at least 2 to 3 to 4 XP per session.
Okay.
That's how that works. So as you're progressing, now because I'm running this as a league style system, like Adventure League D&D style, what you do is every time you complete a session, I'm just going to hand you an advancement.
Okay.
And then it's up to you what you want to do with that advancement.
So I could just increase my edge like crazy and throw super modified onslaughts for hella damage.
You can only take 1 advancement each per tier.
Okay.
So you could.
So you only get 1 edge, 1 effort, 1 increase in skills, and then 1 other.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. I was about to say, I'm just like, tier 2, edge of 5.
No. Bad. So
Just any roll. Just I get it because I spend 5 intellect on it
yeah.
for free. But
So
okay.
and that's one thing you have to be careful with is spending effort. One of the first things you want to do as a player, and this is metagame information, is get your edge up to 3 in 1 stat as fast as possible.
Well, that was part of the plan for intellect.
Yeah, that way you can start throwing in free levels of effort. For damage,
Okay.
to reduce difficulties, anything that requires intellect, you'll be able to throw a free level of effort on it and be like, all right, it's one lower. So, I mean, that's why skills are so important because they drastically chunk down the difficulty of the system. So,
Okay.
like, let's say you have to make a DC 6 Numenera check. So
Hmm.
let's say that's an 18 on the die roll.
Yeah.
Um, if you're a glaive, that's impossible unless you actually spend effort on it because that's
Okay.
a DC 7, which is a 21. And
Ah.
so glaives are completely inept when it comes to knowledge Numenera. You're specialized, so that DC 6 goes down
Is
two
a 4.
steps. That's a 4. That's a 12. Well, screw it. I have 1 point of edge, right?
Hmm.
So I can spend. Oh, don't forget you have a book on the Numenera also, which provides you an asset on the Numenera check also.
So then it's down to 3,
That's down to 3. Then you spend a level of effort and you're down to 2.
and that effort would only cost 2 intellect,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or
Yes.
okay.
So you see how things start to really snowball in your favor.
Yeah.
Where the glaive's just like Numenera, give me something to hit, and you're just like, hold on, flip, 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 flip. Looking through your
Yeah.
book and messing with stuff. And the book does require time. It takes twice the amount of time to go through it. But for that
Hmm.
extra asset, you're usually pretty willing to do it. And a DC 2, I mean, that's a 6 on a D20.
Yep. That is not even that hard to get.
Mm-mm. So,
That's a 20% chance to fail. No. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30% chance to fail.
is it really that well? I thought, well, yeah.
It's because 6, well, no, if it's 6 or less, so there's only 5 that can fail, so you have a 25% chance of failure.
Yeah.
Because a d20 is, yeah. So 25% chance of failing. That's not even that bad.
No, it's super easy. And then you can use XP to reroll. You can use effort to reroll. You always have to spend, if you want to retry, you can retry any non-combat task. As
Okay.
long as you spend a level of effort more than you did last time. Now, that just allows you to retry the reroll. It doesn't reduce the
Hmm.
difficulty. So
Okay.
that's how that works. So, and then like I said, other people can assist you as long as someone is either untrained in it or trained. They can assist you. Someone that is trained assisting someone who isn't gives them 2 free assets automatically. If they're untrained, they only gain 1 asset, and you can actually use that in combat too.
Okay.
So assisting people is greatly beneficial, especially if you're like a nano and you're trying to help the fighter. An
Yeah.
asset for the fighter is worth way more to the fighter than you'll ever be able to do.
Or my knowledge skill, which automatically difficulty reduction by 1.
That now, mind you, that's a knowledge check, not any
Oh.
combat task. That is the drawback to that. It's knowledge specific. Now it might be
It says a
knowledge.
particular type of task, but not attack or roll or defense roll is reduced. So it's any ability, it looks like,
Yes.
that isn't attack or defense.
Hmm.
That is stronger than I thought it was.
Now you see why I'm starting to say that's an incredibly powerful ability.
Yeah.
Now, does it say asset or is it a step reduction?
It's a step reduction.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so for the cost of 2, I can instantly give one creature for 1 minute decrease difficulty by 1 on something that's not an attack or defense roll.
Now, you could use that on yourself also,
Correct.
which means you could take that DC 6 down to a 1 at
Yep.
tier 1.
Yep, I'm a superhero, guys. All the brain power. I'm just Megamind. I have that giant head and just spandex tights.
Now,
That's all it is.
there another thing is you can only decrease. I can't remember where I read this, but you can only decrease a task difficulty by 6 steps. Um,
Okay.
That's where they just cap it out. However, if you're ever able to make a difficulty reduced down to 0, you don't
It's an
have.
auto.
It's an auto. You don't have to roll for it.
Nice.
And
So if we had a
anytime
DC 5 Numenera check, I could auto him.
you could auto it if you wanted to spend the effort.
2 intellect for effort.
Uh,
Oh, no, so it would be 4 intellect total for knowledge and effort.
Yep.
But that's not even that bad.
No, it's not. And then you can still roll if you want to, but then at that point you're just fishing for critical successes.
Okay.
So
And criticals is 20 and 19 gives you something minor.
minor, yeah. That was the
Right.
other thing. If you spend effort and roll a nat 20, you refund all the effort points.
Ah.
I've had it's one of the best feelings in Numenera is when you spend multiple points of effort, like 2 to 3 points. So you take this massive like 7 or 8 point hit to a stat pool,
Mm-hmm.
and you roll that nat 20, and you're just like, it feels so good.
Yup.
The other side of that coin is when you spend the 7 or 8 points of intellect and roll a nat 1.
And then the GM intrudes, and I go, "No, please, please, no, Daddy, no."
Why, Daddy? Why?
Yep. So I've got my handheld shredder for plant matter, and a long-handled spoon, a book on Numenera, a shield, my bag of light tools, and some matches. Yup. This is definitely a level 1 adventurer. Just combination of weird stuff.
There you go. Assets.
And my 3 ciphers. Or my asset's good listener, so apparently I can listen to people even though my persuasion is trash. Trash. Inability. In persuasion, deception, and I forget what the third one was. Let me pull it up real quick. Boop. Charm. I am not good at talking to people. Probably because I'm a machine god machine. Probably. The giant robot pieces that keep swiveling and looking at people. Probably does that.
All
so
right.
I could give that to someone else, I guess. Make someone else a good listener.
Yep, probably.
Probably better. Or spend it for someone else.
That's what. There, move it up a little bit. Perfect. There we go.
And then we just throw Screaming Madness.
So yeah, come up with a name for your character.
Okay. Let
Unless
me
you
think.
can just call him Lancer if you want.
I feel like that's a cop out. Let me just try something real quick because name. When all else fails, go to namegenerator.org. Or no, that's not the right one. FantasyNameGenerator.com. And now we go to fantasy names. I'm sure there's a section that says robot. Robot names. Let's see what they give me. Anything fun?
Control yourself. Widget, Spark, Cog.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're giving me. Or they're giving me like
Quark.
No, they're giving you like EET, electronic evasion technician, or
Oh jeez.
or pod programmed observer droid. Actually, that probably would fit. So pod, we'll go with pod, programmed observer droid, pod.
Capital P dot capital O dot capital D dot.
Yep. Capital P dot capital O dot capital D dot. And we'll put in parentheses, programmed observer droid. Who just happens to shoot lightning out of his staff, so.
Yeah, whatever. It works. Is that gonna be your onslaught? Is lightning?
I was assuming that would be what it was, because if you're a mechanical and you're a robot, I feel like electricity is kind of your wheelhouse.
Kind of your thing. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it works for me. All right, good sir, you are done.
All right.
I will see you this Saturday.
Yes, I will see you this Saturday, sir. It's been a pleasure.
All right, catch you later. Bye.
Catch you later. Bye.